welcome to episode 4 of the Siddersknits podcast. I'm Sydney.
I'm Arlene.
And we are excited to come back, and it's only been 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're on time.
Yep. Today, what is today? The 20th? I think July.
Today's the 20th. No, today's the 20th.
Yeah,
right.
July 20th. So it's a Friday instead of a Saturday, so it'll kind of throw us off, but we are doing it anyway.
Yes.
Getting it done. Anything else for the intro that you can think of?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot here, but I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So we'll just go into mission accomplished. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll let you start.
Okay. So I have 2 things. The first one I'll show is this little baby sweater. So I finished this. Turned out really nice. Actually, I still have to put on some buttons, but there's supposed to be 2 buttons like right on this band.
No, I thought you had you mentioned this on Instagram?
Yeah, I put this on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you were finished. Did you? I know. Question for you. Did you block this?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
which
cute.
it was so much dye was coming out of it that I might have to do it again and figure something out, because it was both the black and the blue. Like every time I'd squeeze it, it would just it was like brown coming out. And I kind of ran out of yarn, which is why the cuffs are blue.
This is cute, though.
I wanted them to be black, but it looks fine. But they're blue because I ran out of yarn. But I think it's really cute, and that pattern in there is just really pretty. So I'm very excited. This is the metamorphic sweater. So it's very
That's
cute.
nice.
Yeah, so it will be going to its new home very soon.
And she's the one that had the baby already. Is that right? Did she have?
Yeah,
Okay.
so the baby was born the beginning of July, like the first couple days in July.
Okay.
Before the 4th, I know that. And then, and they actually live really close to us, like a few streets over. So I'll just
Good.
have to
All right.
set it up and get it over.
And
to
that
her.
you can put in your mission accomplished next time we have a podcast.
Yes, and it's been delivered.
Good. That's really cute.
The other thing I have are these socks. So I finished them, and I'm very excited. They're basically vanilla socks. I mean, this is a knit to purl to rib up here, and then just knit the rest of it. I started these a really long time ago. I know I mentioned last time, but I started them 2 at a time, like 2 years ago, and I just didn't want to finish them. I separated it, big old mess. But they're done now. I know up here I think there's 72 stitches, and then I went down to like 66 or something down in here. My husband has pretty skinny legs and skinny feet, and so he doesn't need 72 stitches. Like I had him try on, I'll show later, the other sock I'm making, and they fit him. Except for like through, I don't know what it's called, but right, the kind of the ankle part, I think I'll just add stitches for him in there, and they'll fit. Like he doesn't have large.
They're narrow.
Yeah.
Feet.
Yeah, he's like skinnier than me on his feet. So I'm like, you don't need this many stitches. But they're done, and now they'll probably just go in the sock drawer until winter.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, a couple of months. It's too hot right now.
Game of Thrones fans. She's not. So okay. So and mine is, I gave mine away already. My project that I finished, and it was, and you can insert a picture here, somewhere around in here, but it was the llama. It's a llama pattern. It's a dishcloth or a washcloth. I made it for a friend who was having an adoption shower, and she's really into llamas.
I didn't know that's what you made it for.
Oh, see, you learned something here on our podcast. So she is she is a foster parent, like we are. We're foster family, and she is adopting 2 littles. So her theme for at least her daughter has been llamas. So she's got like a llama pajamas, llama book. There were llama books there. I don't have to ask her what the behind the story is, but so I found a llama dishcloth pattern, and so I made that. I found that on Ravelry, and it is, the pattern where I got it from is called Easy Care Knits. So it's just E and then Z Care Knits, and you can see that on my on Ravelry.
Oh, did you put it on there?
I did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I put it on there, And so you can look at it there. It was some yarn I already had, some cotton yarn I already had, so it was kind of a salmon color, I'd say, but it was cute. I think it turned out really cute. Yeah, so that's the only finished project I have. So, but I have been knitting. Remember in the last podcast I said I hadn't really touched much of it. So I actually have been knitting. I finished one project, started it, finished it, and that was in one evening. So it was a really quick knit, which was nice. I also have worked on a sock that's doing the next section. I know. Okay. We'll wait for stitches started.
Okay, so we will start stitches started.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm working on a sock, and let me show that to you. So this was from the yarn from the last podcast that Sydney gave me, which I love that yarn. Not only do I love the way it stripes, I love the colors, and I love how it feels too. So.
Oh, you have to show your bowl off too.
Oh yes, okay. So this is from our local, we've got like a ceramic pottery place. It's called Playful Potter. Yeah. And so I saw this knitting bowl and I said, oh, I have to have that. So I tried to make it like the kind of a beachy feel to it, and they have these little stencils that you can use. And then it goes around like that. So I did use this, and then here is the yarn. This is the Middle Earth yarn that I used. And then this is the sock, if I can pull it out. Is this what it's supposed to look like, right? Kind of. So you see, see what's the way it's knitting up? And then I tried, this is my first attempt at the afterthought heel. So here I go. What do you think?
It looks good,
bad,
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So we're not finished
really
with it quite yet. I stopped at 8 stitches each right here because I'm not sure when.
That sounds
okay.
good.
And then I
usually have left like 12, so 8 will be good.
Okay. And then I needed a tapestry needle, and I didn't have one. I looked all over last night because I brought one. Okay, good. I had just found one, and then I don't know what I did with them. So, and this was just some yarn I had.
You can't see it.
Oh, sorry. Look. And it's like, yeah, I thought it would go a little bit better with this yarn than it does, but you know, it's the heel. It's my first one, and I really, really wanted to start that afterthought heel once I finally made up my mind to cut my yarn. And if you've never done an afterthought heel, or maybe if you have, maybe I don't think I'm the only one. It is so hard to cut, and she knows because I text her saying, okay, I'm gonna do it, and then I text her again, okay, I haven't done it, but I'm gonna do it, and I would find every excuse I could not to cut that yarn. It was hard for me, but I did it. I'm glad I did. So, and I like the way, if you can see, let me bring this up. You wanna hold it out for me? Thanks. So I always have holes right here where with the heels, and you don't want to have them on this afterthought heel. So. And there are a lot of tutorials out there on YouTube. We liked that. Is it Curvy Werby?
Yeah.
And I don't think she makes videos anymore.
No, I think it's mostly like that one on hers.
Yeah, but I really liked that one that she did because she gets really close up and you can see the yarn and she talks about what she does. So I did like it. So now I have to remember how to do the Kitchener stitch, right? Okay.
Yeah, to finish it up.
So that is my work in progress. And that is all I have.
So I have that shawl, but I didn't touch it, so I didn't bring it. So I started. Oh yeah, this is my cute little bag. I love this one. So pretty.
Where did you get that one from?
I think this was Fates thread, Fates thread.
Oh, turn it around on this side. There's a really cute. Look at this little one right here.
So cute. I think my daughter has a dress in this print, but it's dark background instead of the like blue.
Oh.
It's like black in the background.
Oh yeah, did she wear it just the other day?
Yeah. The little pink. She had it yesterday.
Yes,
she wore
that's
it
what
yesterday.
I thought. Okay.
Yeah, which that dress is actually made by a local lady that makes little kid clothes. She actually lives in our neighborhood because I picked up clothes from her house.
It's good and bad at the same time.
I know, and that's luckily she's so like busy that it's hard to like buy stuff from her.
Oh, good.
So that's good because then I don't spend the money.
It's good.
But her stuff is really cute. So, I have one done. So I started these socks last week after I finished those other 2 projects. I started these socks, and these are just vanilla socks. So I used a 1.5 needle, which is 2.5 millimeters or something. Yeah, 2.5 millimeter, so it's a 1.5 needle. So I started these last week, and I got the first sock done last weekend, but then I haven't been on the weekends I have a lot more time than on weekdays. So they're the two colors, and I'm super excited. So I bought this at Yarn Refuge at their new location, which was cool. So I went there a couple weeks ago, and so this yarn here, I don't remember the name of it, but it's Arkaik yarn, but I can't remember. I'll put on here how it's spelled, but it's spelled like, I think it's phonetically. It's not like archaic, like
not like it's with the CH.
Yeah, it's different. But anyway, he works there at the yarn store. The guy who dyes it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so he was helping me to, like we were talking about the yarn, and I was looking at it and stuff, and then found a mini there. This one is Storyteller yarns, which she is in Tahoe, so that's in South Lake Tahoe. That's like 2 hours away from here, and I have a lot of her yarn. I really like it. So that's what I did for the heel and the toe. And I just think it's really pretty because it reminds me like kind of like Arizona. So my grandma's from Arizona, and so I just thought this kind of reminded me of like cactus and then like desert. So that's why I picked this out, because I thought, oh, that'd be good. Because last year I made her socks that were like, the colorway was called Mexico, because her family's from Mexico. And so, well, I mean our family, but her parents. And so I thought that would be kind of cool if I did something like Arizona themed-ish. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm super excited. It's super pretty together,
and that's what's nice about making socks or giving a gift away.
Yeah.
When you make it, is you personalize it.
Yeah. Because I was telling my husband, I'm like, yeah, and I think she'll like these colors, and and he's like, she's just gonna like them because you made it. Like the colors aren't really gonna matter. And I was like, yeah, it's true, but
you should write a note and give it to her.
And I should do that too. But
between now and Sunday, is it Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. So they may not be done by Sunday, but they'll be close. I want to at least get like the heel, past the heel, and do the heel. I did an afterthought heel too, so.
Yeah, and I see where you would keep it at 12. Now I'm thinking, I wonder if mine was.
I think
will be a little pointy,
but
it will be okay.
Yeah, see how it goes. But yeah, I did 12. Usually I leave 12 on there. So that's that, nice. And I'm excited. I just have the ball of this one in there.
And then so the Storyteller
I could just
yarns?
pull Storyteller.
Storyteller. Does it have different themes? Like,
no, but her daughter has yarn that's called Storybook. And that's really cute. Like her daughter dyes yarn, and she calls it Storybook yarns, and she does little minis, and they're really cute. I had Carter pick some out, and Belle picked one out too.
Fun.
So that Arkaik, which I know you can't. It'll be backwards here, but it's Arkaik Fibres.
No, AIK.
AIK.
Like ARK, like ARKAIK.
Yes. Okay. Well,
Fibres, FIBRES. Oh my goodness.
And it's a BFL. So it's 75% superwash British BFL and then 25% nylon. Okay. I was wondering because the yarn is a little bit more like, I don't want to say scratchy because it's not really scratchy, just not like the other one is just like softer, and this is a little bit sturdier. Maybe that's a good word.
What's
like
BFL
sturdy.
Mean?
It's a certain kind of.
Okay.
I have to look it up more, but it's Blueface Leicester. I think that's like a certain kind of sheep.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I'm
not totally sure. I know.
If you know, right in the comments.
I keep hearing it, but I haven't actually looked it up to see what it means. But I keep hearing it, so
we'll have to check that out.
I know.
The history. This can be in our random things next time.
Okay. So that was our stitches started.
And that's in between all of summertime and so I think we just enjoyed our summer.
I knit, but I don't knit a ton. Like, I'll sit down and knit, but I'm not like.
That's why small projects are good. I like that for the summertime. And I think a lot of people that knit or crochet do that. Smaller projects in the summer, and then when you're cold, that's when you knit the bigger projects.
Sitting on you, and you're not like.
Plus, they're easier to carry around too. So, what are some of the places that you've been knitting out in the public? Like they're a little bit different.
Well, I don't know, but well, sometimes I was waiting. I was waiting in line in the Costco pharmacy, and I was knitting because the line was super, super long. I was going to pick up some stuff, and the line was like 10 people, but I guess they just switched to a new system, so it took forever. So I was knitting. I had my like bag in my purse and knitting. But we actually, I don't think I might have mentioned this, but at my work, we actually have a knitting group.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you
or
just,
like a knitting
you just
crocheting
went
group
recently, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's on Wednesdays, and I went last week, and then I went this week too, and that was really fun because it's just fun. Everyone brings their stuff, and actually most of the people were crocheting, like working on like granny squares and stuff.
And so when is it? Like, is it during like a lunch hour type of thing? And
yeah,
it's just like an hour
idea.
about.
Yeah, and one of the little rooms on campus.
Yeah,
and it's really fun. Yeah, they're gonna switch it to a different day of the week, and I don't think I'll be there during the semester, but that's okay. I'll go until the school starts.
Well, and I knit in public these last 2 weeks. I was at a training that, you're sitting there, and I really could have brought it out more. I did probably more the second day, and it's funny, if you haven't been knitting in public, I sometimes feel, like, should my eyes be constantly on this person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thought, I just had it, down, we were all at tables, and so there was a speaker up front, and I just brought it out. And with this, and this, what size is this small circular? Is it 9 inch?
Those are 9-inch circular. Yeah.
So this is the first time for me trying out these smaller circular needles, and I like it. I mean, we were talking about that, like sometimes there's pros and cons, but I really like how you get a nice even all around knit without little holes. Sometimes if you're knitting on a larger circular and you put half of them on one side and half on the other, you'll get those little holes. And it's also nice that you don't have to keep stopping and readjusting. You just keep knitting in the round the whole time. So that's what I use. And so it was nice. I could basically put it on my lap and just kind of knit. And since there's no pattern to it, I could just go ahead and keep going. And I got some good work on it done. So that's probably where I've been knitting in public.
And car rides, I like that too.
Yeah, if you're not driving.
Yeah, if I'm not the one driving.
Yeah.
Projects in the queue?
Still my socks, which I already talked about. So, no, I don't have anything. I think right now is just to see what kind of sock yarn I have, and what I can do with them, different kinds of socks. But right now I'm just really enjoying just regular, vanilla socks, and just knitting and learning new techniques, like like that heel, and then relearning that Kitchener stitch. So, how about you?
I have some. So the yarn came in. I just opened the box for the Strange Brew sweater that I talked about I didn't say last week, but it's been like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So she just opened the box.
And one of the colors it definitely looked more brown, and in person it looks a little more purple.
Yeah, but I see some brown too.
It is, but I thought it was gonna be brown, so I got this, which I think will be fine.
I think that's really pretty together, though.
For my son, so this will be like the body, and then this will be part of the like yoke part, which it'll be fine. But then these two together, I'm not sure.
I like
because I thought this was gonna be brown, so brown with the purple.
What's it called? Do they have?
It's called
numbers?
Lava Heather.
Okay.
So it looked different in the picture than in person. I mean, I'll probably still use it up because.
And you're making what, a sweater for him?
Okay. A sweater, yeah. So both kids, because I want to do the body the same color and then different colored like yoke. But I mean, these next to each other, it'd be like kind of a little color work pattern. I think it'll work. It's a bummer. Like I think these two are pretty.
It was going to, yeah.
But then this one, I don't know. They don't quite go together like I would want. So we'll see. Yeah. Maybe I'll end up having enough of this one to use for hers too. Maybe. And then could make hat or something with this. But we'll see. I'll at least do this for my son. And then I'll think about what I want to do with this. But I think I only have like 2 of the
They're
purple.
pretty colors. They are pretty. And they were having a sale, weren't they, Knit Picks?
Yeah, so I only have 2 of these purple. So really, if I end up changing, like if I have enough of this, I would like to do that for both kids because that'd be really cute. Maybe a different pattern up here, but the same colors for both. Otherwise, I'll have to figure something out. I keep looking at it. I keep not liking it. So even these are pretty, but these are not.
And I see what you mean.
Yeah,
it's just like it's the tones are a little off together.
Yeah.
They're pretty. They're pretty separately.
Yeah.
They're pretty like this, but yeah.
So
well, we'll see. We'll see how it looks.
But that is one of my projects in the queue. Now some more. So I have put myself on a yarn diet now because
I saw that.
Yeah,
on
I put that on my Instagram stories because I went, like, we started the podcast and I was like, buy yarn, buy yarn, and then I was like, okay, Sydney, you have to stop. So I'm not allowed to buy any more for a while. Because, like, one shop, they did a 40% off sale. So I was like, I gotta buy some yarn. So
Isn't that's the hard part about it? And what happens is we find it, we love it because it's on sale, we buy it. And then if we don't use it, we find it in our garage, which is what is happening.
And I got rid of a lot of yarn, and I've downsized a lot. But then what's hard too is most of my yarn is in storage units. So then I was like, well, I need yarn for the projects I want to start. So anyway, so I'm done now. I have like 3 more orders of stuff to come in, but I'm done. So another project I want to do. There's these socks that came out that are, I'll put the name on here because I can't remember. They might be Sweet Bee socks, but I can't remember for sure. It's by So Sweet Violet. That's the lady, like her
And
Instagram
then with
name.
names like that, how can you not buy them? They're so cute.
Well, because my husband has bees, so I'm a sucker for bee themed things. I found this sweater that's called like the Beekeeper sweater, which not letting myself knit yet. I'm not buying the yarn for it yet because I have to get some other stuff done. But so these socks, they're beautiful. They're like they have a couple stripes and then they have a little pattern that looks kind of like little bees on there. And so I'm gonna I want to make those because she's doing a knit along. So I thought that would be really fun to make those, which I ordered yarn for those too. It's really pretty. It's like this dusty rose with a little like white mini. So that was another thing I ordered. That's on its way. But I want to make those for the cow because I think that'd be really fun. So that's another project. I've been just kind of like throwing out ideas. Like I'll see something and be like, oh yeah, I want to do that. Or oh, I have yarn that I could do that. But I think those are kind of like the main ones up and coming.
Good.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little bit afraid to get anything started because what happens is I'm like that too. I'll end up going, I love this, and this, and before you know it, I have 10 projects going on, and then I get overwhelmed, and then I don't finish any of them. And that's me. So I'm trying to just go in slow
and I've gotten better. I don't start anything. Like I'm good at not starting, but I'll still like look up ideas and this and that, and then it like distracts me from what I'm working on. It does, even looking it up. Like,
and it's not to say you lose interest in it, but at the same time you're kind of like thinking of other things. That's what I do. Yeah. And then I kind of, my interest wanes a little bit on what I'm working on, which it shouldn't, but it kind of does. That's just me. Yeah.
So yeah, I have a couple things, but I would like to do the sweaters for my kids for the winter. I think that'd be really cute for them to have some sweaters. And my son is probably getting, I mean, he's 5, so there probably won't be that many winters before he doesn't want mom to make him anything.
And it's so hard to think of winter right now when it's like 100 plus degrees outside.
Yeah. It's too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and we talked about the recipe. We have that in a little bit. So.
Well, the next thing is going to be our random recommendation. Okay. Do you have anything you wanted to do?
And I was trying to look it up just now, but you go ahead and go, and I'm going to look here, but I'm looking down and I'm looking up the podcast.
Okay. So something that I was watching this week that was super interesting to me was I was looking at these videos that were like the history of hairstyles and the history of makeup. I shared a little Instagram story of it. Those Instagram stories, I can't quite figure out if I would like it or not. Like,
I'm the same way.
I like watching other people's, but then when I make it, I'm like, this is kind of weird. I can't figure out how to do it. But anyway, So I was watching these videos, and I'll put the name of the channel down here. And she did these videos. I just started watching the makeup ones this morning while I was getting ready, but it was hairstyles, and she went back to like, she started ancient Egypt, and then she worked in different time periods. So it was like ancient Egypt, and then I think, was it like Greece, and then like the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, like super, super cool. Just this history of hairstyles and kind of like beauty standards for these different time periods. It was really interesting. And I was watching the makeup ones too, and that one was really interesting. I really like the hair ones, just because there's so much that like now it's like ugh, but like there was one where I think it was in the Middle Ages, they would actually like pluck their hair up because like a really big forehead was in. But it's so weird to think of like, you know, like plucking or shaving your hair right here. Like,
yeah, right.
It's just a very different, you know, like kind of, it just was super interesting to me to watch that and just hear about
and
it.
How that was just so the norm then. And
yeah.
then you think about like eyebrows, you know, for women now. And, you know, do you know what I mean? Like that's, I'm not saying we pluck or shape them,
like
but
that we pluck
but
our
we
eyebrows?
shape our eyebrows nowadays,
Yeah.
and maybe that wasn't the norm back then, or even in different countries. I know you're looking at me going eyebrows, but that's what it reminded me of when you said you pluck them all back here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And eyebrows were actually one that through a lot of time people did that, like would shape their eyebrows.
Did they? See, that's something that's still is like that today. Interesting. Yeah. I did find mine.
Okay.
So yeah. So this is something that's it's a YouTube channel that I found, and it's called I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's Amy. It's either Marion or Marion. It's Maryon, but she has her website is plainandnotsoplain.com. So she's got a large family, and I don't know how many kids she has. It's like 8 maybe, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But she has a lot of her videos have a lot on freezer meals and pre-planning for like, she'll go like once a month, you know, monthly. So this particular one, which was simplified freezer meal cooking for the summer. So she'll show you her process of what she does, and with a large family, there's a lot, and then they put a lot into like Ziploc bags. You know, you can do your own thing. She also has little containers that she buys from Amazon, and then she has a blog that you can go to and get all those recipes. So from what I saw, she doesn't have like a collection of here's everything you need. Sometimes they and I can talk about that website too. It's Freeze Easy. Is that what it is? Freeze Easy, right? FreezeEasy.com it's a paid plan where you pay like $10 a month, and then you get everything, and it's already laid out for you, and it's got your shopping list for that you need, which is great, but you pay for it. But with her, she just gives you the recipes, but they sound really good. Like coconut curry chicken was one, and there was one where we've done this a lot. She uses chicken tenders, and you put them in a bag, and then you put like dressing over it, like a vinaigrette or something, and then you just freeze it, and that like marinates it at the same time, which super easy, but it's really good. And then you just take it out and grill it, so it's good. But anyway, I checked it out, and then she made pizzas. It was really cool. She went to like dollar store and got the pizza pans, and then she made the dough, like everything from scratch, and then she plopped it on, made like 12 pizzas or something. And then I just thought it was really neat. So if you're interested, we'll link that. We'll have that in the show notes, and you can look at that and check that out if you want to. That's my recommendation.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I haven't not tried any of her recipes yet, but they look like they're kind of they're things that I'm like, oh, I think they'd go well together. You know, it's not anything like, it's not something that you have to go like, get a vanilla bean from, Washington, or you know what I mean. Sometimes you get those like really particular ingredients, but this sounds like something that is doable, and something that maybe a little bit different than what we usually eat, but something that I think kids would enjoy too. So,
which is hard, because like if you make food that like I like, but then if my kids don't eat it, because that ends up a lot, like, because my husband works graveyard, and so sometimes I make dinner and I'm the only person that eats it. And I was like, why did I just put all this effort into making dinner that I'm the only one that's eating it? Like, even So I've tried to get more where I make stuff that everybody eats, which is hard because sometimes the stuff the kids eat is not, you know, like sometimes I will do other stuff, but yeah, it's good to have good family recipes that you make one dinner and everybody eats it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I
So
like
that was a fun thing. I found that and I liked it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out too. Well, do we have a recipe?
No, I don't have one. Do you?
What did I share last time?
The muffins.
The muffins.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this week I had one and I made it, actually I think I made it that weekend, like right after we did our last one, and then I made these bagels. So these bagels are from Skinny Taste, the Skinny Taste website, and it's basically, it's a kind of like a 2-ingredient dough, is where it's like if you use self-rising flour and mix it with plain Greek yogurt, and then you can use it to make like pizza dough or bagels or just different things. But on her website, her recipe, you just use all-purpose flour and then you add in baking soda and salt instead of having to get the self-rising flour, which you can get the self-rising flour, but if you already have flour, it's easier if you like, because you'd probably have baking soda and salt instead of buying a special separate thing. And so you just mix that together with the plain Greek yogurt and then you shape it. The dough can be really sticky because I've made these a few times and the dough can get really sticky, so I usually add a little less of the Greek yogurt and then just really like flour my hands and flour the surface. But yeah, they're pretty good, and I did that for breakfast, and I just would cut it open and put 2 eggs in there and eat that for breakfast for a while. It was really good. So just kind of an alternative to getting like a bagel from like a bagel store.
Yeah, and if you were to make those, you could make them smaller size too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes those bagels that you get, they're so, well, like even if you went to Costco.
Yeah.
And then I can give you all the pros of why you should make your own. Not that I do it all the time, but like if Costco, from what I hear, we have a nut allergy at our home, and Costco, we've heard, is really kind of not really known, but it's not uncommon for them to cross-contaminate things. So we kind of try to stay a little bit clear of them, but they're so big too. You know, you get one or just a half. But that's why I think I like about that is you can pick the size.
Yeah.
So smaller ones, you know, for smaller bagel.
Yeah. So that's what I liked. I made those and they were really good. And so yeah, I'll link the recipe, but they're pretty easy because you just mix like 2 ingredients, or I guess 4 ingredients technically, but you mix that together and then bake it. And that's it. And I think like I put like a egg wash on top.
And then did the kids like them?
Oh, I didn't even have
I
them
know.
try them. They were for me.
It's out for me.
Yeah.
I put them in the freezer. Did you freeze them?
No.
Or did it just
no,
made a small batch?
Yeah, I just made 4, so I just ate them
okay.
for 4 days for breakfast.
Cool. Great. I'm gonna have to try that. So to post that recipe.
Yeah, they're really good and really easy.
So will you put that on Instagram or?
What do you mean?
The recipe?
No, on our show notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, like link it in the show notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, I think, is that it for today?
I think so.
Good. Well, look at, we're at 33
I know.
minutes.
I just looked at that. Great.
And I don't think we have to cut anything out.
Good.
Like
go
last
for
time.
it. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're still amateurs, but we have fun. I think that's a good part of it, and it makes us go, oh, what are we gonna knit next time?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check out that recipe. So it's fun to look forward to, and we have a little bit of quiet time. The kids actually were really good today.
Yeah. I know my daughter's at home sleeping.
Yes,
with my husband. I mean, he's home too. And just like, go to bed. Peace out.
She's sleeping, and the other kids are in the other room, and we do let them play electronics then, so they have to wait for that, and so they get all excited because they get to play. So that's good.
Yeah, brought the tablet.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay, we'll have a good 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And we'll talk to
you. See you later
in a couple weeks. Bye.
Bye.